Good morning. You're from FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Lori Kisner, a managing partner with Market Maker Events, producers of the flooring markets. How you doing, Lori?
I'm good, Kemp. How are you this morning?
I'm good. It's good to catch you. I'm headed down to Dallas. That's one of your 3 shows, and wanted to kind of give my listeners a read on what you anticipate's going down there. This first week with Omicron on some people's minds, you're a little bit of the canary in the coal mine, but from what I'm hearing, it's still going to be a good show, right?
Yes, absolutely. We still have buyers registering as we speak.
Yeah.
We continue to get more and more every day. We're here at AT&T setting up. We look forward to having a full complement of our exhibitors who have signed up. We've got about 70 exhibiting companies that have convened on the main concourse of the AT&T Stadium, and we're looking forward to welcoming buyers.
Okay.
So we're very, very excited for this weekend.
That's good news. So you're in the Dallas Stadium. It starts on Thursday and runs through Friday, right?
Yes, Thursday and Friday, 9 to 5 on Thursday and 9 to 2 on Friday.
And there's every indication that attendance this year will be at least as good as last year, if not better, right?
Oh, I think it'll be much better. Our pre-reg is significantly up over last year. We did have to move the show up to the spring last year because of COVID.
Right.
But this year we have kept it in the early January timing, which, as everyone knows, is the better time for the flooring industry retailers to get out the new product.
One of the things I'd like to do is squelch a couple of the rumors that were going around, because I was getting calls early this week, starting yesterday morning, that one of the companies that's down there, not necessarily in your show, but nearby in a hotel that brings a lot of buyers to Dallas for this show, is BPI, and the rumor was they weren't going to continue to have their show, and that's not correct. They're still having their show, right?
They are. We confirmed with them last night. They're actually here in town setting up, and they look forward to having a full complement of their brands, and they host a lot of buyers in to the Lowe's Hotel here in Arlington, which is about a quarter of a mile away from AT&T Stadium.
Right. And I know Shaw is also going to have a big event down there, so that'll bring traffic as well.
They are. Shaw did a good job building this market. It kind of all started with their event, and they show up at the Embassy Suites, and they also host in a lot of buyers. I've talked to several of them this week who were trying to map out their journey.
Yeah.
This group understands that that's what it takes to get around to see all the new product. The good news is we're a regional market. All of 3 of our markets in Dallas, Atlanta, and Biloxi are regional. Uh-huh. So the majority of the retailers that come in are driving. They're not flying.
Right.
So we get pretty good attendance. Even in COVID last year, our attendance was very strong. Because of that, they didn't have to fly.
Right.
So we don't experience a lot of the cancellations that I think some of the larger shows do. Uh-huh. We're tapped in with the entire trade show industry, so we definitely know what's going on the macro level, too.
Well, I know. As you mentioned that, I mean, one of our big news stories this week has been that CCA has decided to cancel their winter convention. I think that all surprised us. So I'm glad to hear that you're on as planned and anticipating a good crowd.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were surprised by that move. We do know that any event that has a lot of fly-in attendees are going to struggle in the month of January. That being said, I know of several national shows that aren't even considering canceling at this point. So it's all up to the individual events. But I think we're going to see far less event cancellations this year than we did last year, mostly because Omicron seems to be a weaker variant. Yeah. It doesn't seem to be getting people as sick as the Delta was. Hopefully we can just get through this horrible nightmare and get back to regular business. This has helped the flooring industry significantly. Everyone's in their homes, and flooring is selling very well right now.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So let me just add to what you're saying. I did talk to Dana Teague last night. She runs the Surfaces show, and she says, yeah, they're on and anticipating a big crowd. As a matter of fact, I think they sold a couple of more spaces just yesterday. So that show continues.
Yes, that is such great news. Yeah. We're so glad to hear that, and it's good for everyone that the national shows move forward, that the regional shows, all of the different channels. It's just so important for our attendees to see and feel this product. They can't order it online.
Right.
So this is it's very, very difficult for all of the sales reps to get around to all of these retailers. It's impossible. There's just too many of them.
That's right.
So that's why meetings are so important.
Let me second again what you're saying. You cannot buy flooring by looking at a picture. It's a texture. It's a hand. To tell if it looks real and it's going to be something your consumer's going to want to buy, you have to see it.
Yeah, and that's the good news. Down to the consumer level, this is a feel and touch type product industry.
Yeah.
So that is very good news, because if you're making that big of an acquisition, you're not going to acquire that huge ticket item without seeing it and feeling it.
What are you doing protocol-wise to make sure everybody feels comfortable?
Thankfully, we're in a stadium that usually houses about 90,000 people.
Right.
So our event that is less than 3,000 has lots of space to spread out. So there's a lot of natural distancing that happens here. We're not a traditional trade show where you have aisles, going up and down a convention hall. We literally circle the football field.
Right.
And in doing so, there is natural distancing between each exhibitor. And then, of course, we do recommend, there's not a mask requirement in Texas, but we do ask people to wear masks. We want to make sure that we are being as safe as we possibly can during this time. Luckily, AT&T Stadium has plenty of sanitizer stations around. Their food service personnel are very careful with their health and safety. We went through a whole meeting with them yesterday on their protocols. So all of the food service outlets will be, the personnel working in those outlets will be masked up and gloved up. We feel really good about being able to conduct an event in a safe manner. Thankfully, Kemp, none of the events that I'm aware of in the trade show industry that have been going on during COVID have been super spreader events.
Oh, I know.
I'm not aware of any of them being. So we've been able to show in the trade show industry that we can safely convene.
Yeah.
We continue to, try to follow the same protocols to make people feel comfortable and safe.
All right, real quick, we talked about this show, the Dallas show, and the date. So you've got Atlanta and Biloxi. What are those dates?
Atlanta is the 26th and 27th, and Biloxi will be February 17th and 18th.
Okay, Lori, thanks again for letting us know what's going on with the Dallas show. Again, been talking to Lori Kisner, a managing partner with Market Maker Events, who puts on flooring markets, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.